Big rascal.
That would be you.
I'm over here getting so excited to recap another incredible game between Stephen Curry, LeBron James. 56 times they faced off. There's been NBA Finals. There's been the first ever playing game. And we just witnessed an instant classic, another Warriors win. We'll break it down with games across the association next on Inside the NBA. Big rascal. Pajemski had 22 points at half, including 6 threes. He'd finish this one with 28 and 8 threes.
And when it's going, it's going.
Man, 8 of 10 from beyond the arc for Pajemski. Rookie at the second-year player at a St. Mary's. Austin Reeves, nice little three-man passing game. Third quarter, Vince, the Lakers woke up.
Absolutely. LeBron got it going. They started getting AR-15 going. I mean, their ability to score is paramount, but it's the bench that will be of question. Only 7 points from the bench. Jackson Hayes only playing, 15 minutes, 2 points. That's my concern for the playoffs. Like, what will you get from that position? What will you get from the bench?
Rough shooting game for Luka, 0 for 6 from beyond the arc, creating some space there.
Hey, might want to guard him. He's having a game.
He is having one of those
His name
nights.
was not on the scouting report.
Yeah.
LeBron, right in Jimmy Butler's grill.
Hey, his name was on at halftime.
Going the other way. This is when it started to look like the Lakers were going to have one of their comebacks. Luka, diamond out. Austin Reeves. 9 threes for Austin Reeves.
But guess what? Who do you go to?
That man right there.
Man, every single time the Warriors needed a bucket, Steph came through.
LeBron James flexing the right arm. It's a 7-point game. 97 seconds left. Pajemski, step back.
Yeah, you wave
gotta
off
be
Steph,
kidding
you better
me.
hit it.
So it's a 9-point lead now with a minute.
Wait, I didn't see that. Hold on.
Yeah, that was curry sauce.
Great defense.
Great defense. 2 different plays. This one by Draymond Green, getting a hand on it. His big block of the day. That changed a lot of momentum because, man, they turned it over. They were going the other way. Golden State wins this one. They are now 20-4 with Jimmy. Remember, when they made that trade, they were 25-26, tied for 10th. Now they're in 5th place. The Lakers in the season series 3-1. Golden State wins the 4th. And this is the reason it's big. They're a game apart. They are right there. Wow, I just realized this is our first playoff matchup. If it ended today, we get 7 games of Lakers-Warriors.
Won all that.
Sign me up. That would be phenomenal.
You heard me, Candace.
And Warriors go to Nuggets next. So they still could get that 3 spot. I mean, obviously everything has to work out in their favor, but
Man, unreal.
grabs.
So when we were getting ready for the game today, I was talking to TK and the crew back there, and I said, you know, with Stephen Curry dropping 52 the other night, how many more times are we going to get to watch LeBron James and Stephen Curry? And we see them at this stage of their career, but we have seen them in so many stages. So let's just take a look. Going back, this is November 17th, 2009, the first time they ever faced off. Steph had 14, LeBron had 31, and in the midst of their careers, they played 4 consecutive NBA Finals against each other. They had that incredible play-in game. The first ever play-in game when Steph had 37, LeBron had a triple-double, including this big shot at the end. Lakers end up winning that one, but this was the 56th game between them tonight, 30-26. Stephen Curry has the lead in the playoffs. It is 17-11, Stephen Curry. All of you have played against different athletes in your career that have probably challenged you and brought something out of you. With these two, we've even had stories that they want to play together. We've seen them on the Olympic team. As a fan of the sport, what has it been like to watch Steph versus LeBron, Candace?
Well, you're talking about 2 players that have literally defined a generation. And I say that in different ways. LeBron doing it at a level for longevity, obviously power, skill set, just a phenom from start to finish. And then Steph Curry was undersized, under-recruited, had to take a different route, and ended up changing the game at the end. So I just feel like these are my generation. And so to be able to watch them while I'm playing basketball, I think you watch them play basketball and you want to go out and try to do what they do. And so it never gets old. And I know at some point we're going to be able to tell our kids that we watched these two Hall of Famers play against each other.
And I'm going to add growth. You know, LeBron, his growth from behind the arc, his sacrifice, changing his game to empower other guys. Steph on the other side, he dealt with his injuries earlier, winning championships, but now proving that he can win the MVP when he had KD. I mean, it's just growth between these two. The battles has always been fantastic, but it's just great to see these guys continue to do this and do it at the highest level. And, you know, yes, we heard they wanted to play together, but I think this is what we want to see. I mean, it would be unfair with those two on the same team, but they come to play each and every time they meet up, and that's what's fun to watch.
To me, I look at it as sort of David versus Goliath. But, you know, with all the hype LeBron had coming in the game with him, you look at him and say, yeah, he'll probably win 1, 2, or 3 championships. Nobody said that about Steph Curry
Ever.
when he first came in, ever. So you got a big, strong guy against a little guy with a baby face, and you know what he has done and what he has done consistently. The game for the last 4 or 5 years is because we want to try to match up with Golden State. Everybody wants to go to analytics and shoot threes. I mean, like, again, I'm just astonished because when he first came in, I was like, yeah, he's a great shooter, but he's passed
And he was
on
always
my test.
injured, so yeah, it's
always
fragile.
injured. And that's why I will keep lobbying for him. When you talk about the greatest players ever play the game, just put him in the conversation. Listen, we're all going to have our picks, but I want everybody in the conversation. Don't just go this guy and leave certain guys out. I want to see MJ, of course. I want to see LeBron. I want to see the coaster, and you got to add Steph Curry to that. That's just my opinion.
Shaq, to add to that, I think everybody in 2014, I remember watching Steph play against the Spurs, and they lost to the Spurs that year, but everybody's like, it's not sustainable to shoot these shots and expect to win a championship.
I was one of them.
And he has made all of us look crazy, because when you're consistent in what you do, it's like when he pulls up from half court, I think all of us are believers that it's going to go in.
But Candace, think about this. The word that you used was consistency. He was consistent to where they had to say, all right, fine. And that's the thing. He shoots, we've said this in the back, some guys we watched in a couple of games we were watching on other TVs, some guys shoot to just get a shot up. He shoots to make them, and he shoots them with consistency. He practices them. He focuses on them. What you always say, you want to see guys focus on their shots. He's done that to where coaches have said, you know what, we want to shoot threes, but that's why they practice them. That's why they practice them. You can't replicate what the Golden State Warriors do. You can't replicate what Steph Curry does, how he plays, how unselfish he is as a superstar. That's just hard to do.
The thing that I take away big time is this desk, media. We have a tendency to either forecast towards the future, who's next, or we look in the past and we debate, which is very hot right now, could they compete back then? What I love about both of these guys is they force you to be in the present. And you watch that game and you're in that moment and you go, man, that was fun to watch basketball. By the way, Charles Barkley texted me, he's weighing in. He said, quote, tell Shaq to unbutton his jacket before he puts someone's eye out. Thank you.
Tell him to send me them fat boy drugs he's been taking. That don't work on his fat ass. You got my number. Chuck, May 19th, I'm going to punch you in your...
That was the perfect way.
6-pack.
Why would you?
Because you have this amazing moment.
Why would you?
This is called style. You wouldn't know nothing about this fat boy. Keep drinking that beer. You an underdog at the pub.
He is down in San Antonio eating
What
a
up,
churro.
underdog?
Because inside the NBA,
Underdog.
let's go to our first game tonight. The Memphis Grizzlies and the Miami Heat.
Oh my goodness.
What an evening we have had.
You had to do it, Lefko.
Ja Morant and Memphis taking on Miami, who's in the midst of a 6-game winning streak. They go to Boston. They beat Boston. They come back. And right away, Bam Adebayo says, get on my back. Scores the first 9 points of the game.
Pull up to the scene.
And then here comes Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. Shooting it from the outside. The aim is perfect. Miami now in transition. Davion Mitchell, who was dishing and diming the whole day. Tyler Hero, a preview of things to come.
You're a little sniper, too.
And then Scottie Pippen Jr. had himself Vince, I felt like we were all very impressed with Scottie Pippen.
Absolutely. I mean, he understands his role. He knows when he gets in the game, be a facilitator, and when you're rolling or open, knock down shots. But he just knows how to play the game and plays it well.
Adebayo, Jaren Jackson Jr. draped all over him. Shot
Did not
clock
switch
ending.
pivot feet.
Man.
Kept his pivot foot.
That's feet work right there.
Miami goes into half up by 1, and then the third quarter was a 2019
Free ball.
NBA draft battle between
boo
Ja
that man.
Morant and Tyler Hero.
Don't you boo that man.
He apparently was starting to hear the boos, and it triggered some anger in him that he answered on the court. A 3, and then a 2, an up and under lay-in.
Can't guard a pit bull with a pigeon.
We will hear more from that later. Tyler Hero and the Heat. He goes on a 9-0 run by himself. Hero has 18 points in the third quarter.
That's called separation right there.
Man, when he gets hot, you think of that scowl in the bubble. He can turn into a different kind of creature. Scottie Pippen Jr. again, this time taking it himself. They go up 3. Still up 3. Bane can't get the
Gotta box this
rebound.
guy out, man.
There's Ja. Pure athleticism. So Memphis is up by 5, now just 2. Bam Adebayo. I mean, get off me, Santi Aldama. Take this shoulder and keep rolling. We're tied at 103. Ja,
Man.
big boy answer.
No, he's going left.
When he gets left.
Cannot stop
yeah,
it.
Absolutely.
Now up by 2.
You can go right to
Oh, Bam Adebayo. No siree. SWAT City.
You spin back right to go back left.
Down by 2. Tyler
Rotation.
Hero. Buckets.
You ever know you are my hero?
Very nice. Now, 3 seconds left.
Yes, sir.
Guarded by
Fade
Khalil Ware.
away.
And just like that, Ja Morant secures the dub. 30 points,
Call him.
5 rebounds, 3 assists. And the Grizzlies snap a losing streak of their own. They had lost 4 in a row. The Heat had won 6 in a row. And the Grizzlies now sitting at that 8th seed. Every game is so paramount. You could tell Ja was playing with passion in his eyes. And he shared his thoughts on that last bucket with our Taylor Rooks after the game.
Huge game winner. Take me through what you saw on that final possession.
A pigeon guard me, go get a bucket, win the game.
The way you're answering that and the energy we had in this game, this one felt personal. What was different about this one?
The crowd get to booing me. They just woke me up for the second half, and I'm pretty sure they ain't happy going home now.
We feel fully comfortable with Khalil, guarding, a lot of different kinds of players, especially in an ISO situation, but not on an island. Look, this was a great basketball game. We're not happy, with the way it went down the stretch, but we're becoming a very tough team.
That's why you put the ball in his hands, in that situation. The guy is unique, and he's capable of things that not many human beings on planet Earth are capable of doing. It's beautiful to watch, and gives a lot of confidence, not just for me as a coach, but especially for the whole team.
Let's take a look at the Western Conference standings. Big win because the Timberwolves, as you'll see later in the show, also won tonight. They get to stay within a half a game of the Golden State Warriors and try to avoid a play-in that has an Anthony Edwards-led Timberwolves team, a suddenly Kawhi Leonard angry Clippers team. Anthony Davis dropped 30-plus last night for a Mavericks team. And who knows if Zach LaVine's going to drop 50 and Sabonis is going to have a 20-20. That one I may have stretched a little bit far. I apologize. But let's talk about the end of that game. I want to give credit to Khalil Ware before we call him a pigeon. 13 points, 15 rebounds for a rookie that also had 3 blocks. One of the better athletes that we've seen. You thought maybe he could have contested it better.
Well, I'm not a defender, but I know you have to know who you're playing against. And the beautiful Candace Parker knows that he likes to go left. So if I know that at the scouting report, I may jam him and make him go right, and hopefully the help comes. But, he made a great move, used a little chicken wing, created space, and just shot it up.
And I know you loved him, that energy he had after the game.
Great energy, great comment. But, tough situation for Mr. Ware, because usually a 5 can never guard a 1 or a 2, but the way they play now, where you switch 1 through 5, just like Spoelstra said, he doesn't mind him defending, but you can't put a guy like that on an island versus a guy like Ja Morant. But defenders always got to know your personnel. So if me, Cannons, and Vincent's game, I'm already know that he goes left.
Especially if you're switching five, that you might have to guard that guy.
I'm already know don't let him go left, so I would jam him up and make him go right and make him pass to somebody else.
I'm a firm believer. I mean, we watched a game on Tuesday night where Denver ran 2 at Anthony Edwards and did not let him get a shot off.
Put the ball in Julius Randle's hands.
You know that Ja Morant's going to dribble the time down. He's going to get to his spot, and he's going to go that way. Yeah. So with Miami Heat, I understand you believe in individual one-on-one defense. But to some extent, sometimes it's making people make plays that aren't used to it, or it's not drawn up out of a timeout, or it's taking people out of being comfortable. So I would have liked to see, especially with that matchup, them do something like that.
Vince, I want to ask you something. So you and LeBron played 22 seasons. So you have seen every generation of player come in for 4 decades. Ja Morant now, since the beginning of March, has averaged over 30 points per game. We saw him in the last game against the Golden State Warriors yelling at them when he dropped 36 in that loss. And then tonight, you see the anger in his eyes. In a post-game comment, he said, "I'm the bad guy now, I'm used to it." The incredible thing about sports is when you make mistakes and things go on, sometimes you can embrace it and embrace that the world is against me. What is this next era of Ja Morant going to be if he just goes, "I'm the bad guy, I don't care anymore"?
I think that's where he is now, and that is fueling him, and he's taking advantage of these opportunities. And I believed if he kept his head down and went out there and played basketball, we would get this version of him, and the world would fall in love with him again. Be like, okay, he's made mistakes, he's done this, but if he goes out there and balls and does what he does night in and night out, and play with the chip on your shoulder, it's okay. I mean, we played in an era where that was every night. Find some way that what motivates you. Michael Jordan found ways to motivate you with and play with the chip. The greats have done that. He is one of the greats in this league right now, and he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, which we're benefiting from getting to see him do this.
The most advice Shaq has ever given me is stop caring what people think. And once you stop trying to be loved and you're okay with getting that other emotion, that could be powerful.
You have to expect, like, even if you're a superstar, you have to expect not to be liked on the road. I'm from San Antonio, went to high school there, be going there tomorrow for the phone. They booed me the loudest ever, but you can't really care. I'm here to do a job. I'm here to, play against these great Hall of Fame Twin Towers, and I'm here to make a name for myself. So as long as he continues to play with that passion, everything else will fall in place. But at some point, right now he's a great. Do you want to become greater? Do you want to become the greatest? So at some point you have to mature your game, and you have to mature off the court if you want to take a step. It's okay to be great, but I remember Kareem said, okay, Shaq's great, but does he want to become greater? Does he want to become one of the greatest? So that's my question, to guys like Ja. Right now you're great, you're getting all the praise, but how you want to be remembered?
Also, congratulations to Tuomas Isalo, his first career win as a coach in the NBA. We have a lot of highlights to get to. By the way, all 6 road teams win tonight. That is only the 6th time in the history of the NBA that has happened.
Did you parlay that?
I'm about to say, did you bet that?
On Adam?
We got a new house coming in the Atlanta area. No, I'm just kidding. May 19th, Shaq versus Chuck.
I'm going to knock his face off.
Furniture will be moving.
Make sure you wear your training bra, Chuck. Haynes, call your boy Mike.
History made. The Greek Freak did something that has never happened before. The highlights, the stat line coming up as Inside the NBA, presented by Kia, continues after this.
Sorry.
We had history. Ovechkin's looking to make history. Giannis made history this evening. This is the only 3 he took of the game, and he made it, which, Candace, as you've said, is a testament to how he's developed this year. But a very complete game, including behind-the-back passes. I have a feeling we're also going to see him dunk on some people.
Oh,
like that?
Dembona, 28 points, 6 rebounds for him.
Who do you play for?
Giannis gets double-teamed.
Oh, that was a hell of a hook pass right there.
That was. Torian Prince knocked down the 13 points. Darvin Ham had to take over head coaching duties. Doc Rivers not feeling well with an illness, had to go to the locker room. Quentin Grimes from
Better, Doc.
Houston, 24, 10 assists.
Doc, Gaviscon on the Tums.
Giannis to Gary Trent, another assist. Nice block there.
Tums.
Called for the foul. Sixers coach Nick Nurse has words with the ref. Next possession, Giannis bringing it up.
Uh-oh.
Guess what? Nurse has words again. Yaddy! See ya! Man, Giannis, 35, 17 rebounds, 20 assists, which is just absolutely staggering. So much so, in fact, that we've only seen that one time before. 35, 15, and 20. He is the only player ever. 3 players have gone 30, 15, and 20. Jokic recently had the 30-20-20 game, and he is the 5th player with 35 points and 20 assists, and I'm just going to guess he's probably the tallest guy to be on that list.
I'm sure Wilt's, maybe.
Oh, we're going to look into
Wilt's
it.
on that.
Time for our tax expert assist. Get live help from real tax experts.
Pass.
Man.
Way to make him look good. Torian Prince.
Whew. Kiddish, you
Bears
think
could use a tall quarterback. That was
Nice.
kinda nice.
you think that he plays a certain level against the Sixers?
Well, he plays a certain level against the Sixers, but we can't measure Giannis' success by the Bucks winning games because he's having a phenomenal season this year.
Minnesota taking on Brooklyn. There was a scary moment in this one, but it ended up okay. So we start off Anthony Edwards, pull-up jumper, gets the foul, and then a little bit later, steps back after he hits the 3, steps on the foot of head coach Jordy Fernandez of the Nets.
That thing goes all the way over.
Watch the top of the screen, it bends to the outside. He'd have to be helped off the court into the locker room. And so now there's just a lot of held breaths in Minnesota. Mike Conley Jr. to Naz Reid coming off the suspension.
That's an LSU lob right there.
Third quarter, though, guys, Anthony Edwards back to the court. That's what you want to see.
You must have put some icy hot on that thing.
Reports are he did not. Anthony Edwards hit the 3
First of
there
all,
in the
you
corner.
don't know that.
That's true. Keon Johnson, another lob here to Nick Claxton.
Nicholas.
He was 9 for 9 from the field at that point.
I'll tell you one thing, the Nets, their record is
Left hand.
they play hard.
They really do.
They really
Shout
do.
out
Shout out to Jordy Fernandez.
Jordy's got these guys playing hard.
Gobert had 21 points, 18 rebounds.
Damn, okay, Gobert.
Edwards throwing it down.
Yeah, his ankle's fine.
Oh, yeah, said icy hot.
This is Minnesota coming off that double overtime thriller. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had a heck of a game. Edwards comes back off the injury, had 13 more
Okay,
points.
Big Rudy.
3 blocks added for Naw.
Rudy.
And the Timberwolves get the win.
10 3-point attempts
Wow.
per hand. Got him up.
He always gets them up. All right, so Minnesota healthy. They're fine. They get a win as we continue in this Western Conference right now. So Minnesota gets the win. The Grizzlies got the win, so now they are tied. And it's still an absolutely compact Western Conference when it comes to seeding. Candace, the Minnesota Timberwolves were a team that shocked a lot of people in the playoffs last year. Are they getting healthy at the right time?
I think they're getting healthy at the right time, but they still have to figure out how to mesh the Julius Randle. Obviously, DiVincenzo was out with a suspension, but figuring out that dynamic. Because I know they got Julius Randle to be able to move Anthony Edwards off the ball a little bit more and allow Julius Randle to be that playmaker that they know that he can be and that he was for the Knicks. But again, I'm with Vince. If we get the version of Anthony Edwards that gets to the rack in the playoffs and puts his head down and makes things happen going to the basket and takes the threes as they come, I think it's, Minnesota can go as far as that. But if he's settling for outside jump shots,
Yes.
I think it allows the defense to relax a little bit.
That was your big
That's
frustration
it.
from Tuesday night.
That's it, because he's so gifted. That's why we fell in love with Anthony Edwards, his ability to get to the rack on anybody at any time, and then you work your way out from there. Because, yes, you're taking a lot of attempts, but I feel like you work your way downhill first. The goal will be not to let you into the paint. Then the three-point shot sets itself up from there. Then you get every shot you want. So maybe he's just trying to see what's there now, and I just hope he doesn't settle in the playoffs, and I hope the Timberwolves staff doesn't allow him to, because they will win games if he's in attack mode.
4th straight win for Minnesota, 8 of their last 11. Big Diesel.
Yeah, playing well, but I'm going to need more out of Julius Randle. You know, Candace makes a great point. They have to figure it out, but what I would like to see from Julius Randle is aggressive consistency. Sometimes scores a lot of points, a lot of times he disappears. If they want to make it out of the play-in, or if they even get to that number 6 spot and, you know, play the Lakers in the first round, he needs to put his head down and be aggressive. Yes, Anthony Edwards is the first option, but when that ball comes back out, make the right play.
And keep those turnovers down.
Yes.
And another thing for Anthony Edwards as well is last year, I think he ran out of gas a little bit towards the end. So it's getting to your spots with efficiency. And I think he learned from the playoffs last year in getting off the ball as well. Sometimes it's easier to give it up early to get it back because he's so athletic that they're not going to keep him from getting the rock back.
Anthony Edwards, 5 of 10 from 3 tonight, a perfect 5 of 5 when shooting twos. He also got to the free throw line 5 times. Moment of the Year nominee winner for
Eric
March.
and Kevin.
Steph Curry's
That's
three-pointer from the logo versus the Nets. It beat out LeBron's tip-in game winner over the Pacers. 66% of the votes. Over 175,000 votes cast. This is Steph's third moment of the month win this season.
So jealous.
But
Where
you
did
know
your
you're
hair
really
go?
great when you throw a shot up like that and your bench stands up like they know it's good.
I just wish I could shoot like
It's
that.
assassin.
I'm just still thinking if Shaq was a vampire, it'd be like the most terrifying thing ever.
Count
The
to
noise
5.
is scary.
Count to 5, I may come with a different wig.
1. Well, you know what else is terrifying?
What?
Trying to stop Paolo Banchero.
Let me hear the
Especially if
song.
you're
Let
the
me hear
Washington
that song.
Wizards.
Come on, Candace.
Shaedon Sharp, who's been
Shaedon Sharp.
on one lately, Vince.
Yes, he has.
RJ Barrett, Toronto Raptors. Let's see what happens in this battle. Start off with a little Toronto 10-0 run. RJ Barrett the steal
Also been
Can we
playing
just
great
talk about
basketball.
these uniforms? I'm sorry.
and the court.
I can't help but think about you. When
Throwback.
Man.
Danny Avdia knocks down the triple. I agree. The Raptor doing the Vince Carter East Bay is awesome.
I need my jersey signed, by the way.
Just
Thank
do it.
you.
RJ bank shot and 1. Vince, every time we look up and see Shaedon Sharp, you feel the need to talk about it. What about his game are you excited about right now?
I mean, he's not in the box. We look at him. We know he's super athletic. He can fly. I want him in a dunk contest, but he's showing he's more than just a dunker and an athlete. He is putting the ball in the basket, scoring, shooting the ball, giving everything to this Portland team. He's on the way. He's on the rise.
That's my boy. That's our boy, Candace.
Donovan Clingan, 8
Our
and
boy,
13.
Candace.
There he is again.
Left, I kid you not, he was looking down at Shaq.
I've never seen someone look down at Shaq
I
and
have
still
never
Donovan
seen anybody
Clingan.
tower over Shaq like that.
36 for Sharp.
I tried to sell him my Cybertruck. He ain't want it.
Denny Abdia in this one had 26, 15,
He
and
has been
6.
playing extremely well
Okay, SOS.
as of late.
Portland playing really well with Chauncey at the helm.
Classmate.
Toronto, not so much.
Classmate.
Portland gets the W. Let's stay in the
Toronto
Eastern
and
Conference.
Portland.
And Orlando and Washington. Paolo Banchero also coming into his own as we
Time to
near
eat.
a playoff run.
Time to eat.
How about
Oh, that's
Paolo
too
hitting it from
easy.
the outside?
That's too easy for him.
3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Then Champagne.
Don't look at him, Champagne. Don't
2 of
look
the
at
8. That might need to be worth more than 2. And then Franz, a little
Oh,
no-look
nice.
pass.
Ein Wagner with the pass.
Paolo Banchero. Great highlights in the first half. Orlando up by 16. And Banchero's at it again. This time a dish.
Ein Wagner. I'm
Young-
the Wagner boys.
Young and up-and-coming offensive
Is that
player,
Bub?
Bub Carrington. 32, 9, and 7.
2 games in a row. Big games.
Ein Wagner.
Oh, is this slam?
The slam dunk. 27 points for
was
Wagner.
What was that?
That was Italian.
You say slam dunk in German.
Slam dunk.
Okay.
Paolo.
Banchero with 33 points, 18 rebounds, 8 assists. Orlando gets the win. Can they be a real threat
ACP.
in the play-in? What are we thinking? Not that, look, if they have to play the 1 or the 2 seed, it's over. But do you see them getting out of the play-in, Candace?
I hope so. I hope they get out of the play-in. Obviously, I still say Suggs is a huge loss, especially defensively, but on the offensive end as well.
All right, Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Paolo Banchero tonight in Magic franchise history put up 30, 15, and 5. His official numbers were 33, 18, and 8. Vucevic has done this 5 times. Tracy McGrady did it. Dwight Howard did it, and Tobias Harris did it. And some guy named Shaquille.
Vucevic was a bad boy.
Shaq, why are you passing if you had 30 points? Why are you getting
Because
5
I get
assists?
triple team.
But I'm saying, you don't want to go up against
No, I get triple team. I'm a team player.
passing 5
Shaq
assists.
doesn't get enough credit for his passing ability.
Yeah. D. Scott, Nick Anderson, Daryl
It's that ball
Armstrong,
fake
Penny Hardaway.
with your right hook.
Nope.
Off-season
Material
question.
green.
Because let's say the Magic don't make a run. Candace, not that your brother's the GM. What pieces do you think the Magic need so that next year it could be a continuation like we hoped this year could have been?
Well, if you're going to put the ball in Paolo's hands and Franz's hands, you're going to have space on the floor. So I think that they need to figure out, and that's what, KCP was brought in to do, but knocking down shots. I mean, on the defensive end, they're one of the best in the league on that end of the floor. But really, it's just the shooting around them. I mean, you can't have games where you're scoring 89, 90 points. So I think that has to be a point of emphasis going into this offseason.
They remind me of Voltron. Voltron wasn't complete unless all the parts were there. So for a team like Orlando Magic, they need to be healthy all year. You got one of the Wagner boys out. That's a loss.
Right.
Suggs out being a loss. So answer to your question, if they can stay healthy all year, no knick-knack injuries, and just, play how they play with that great energy, then they can compete. But if you take away 2 or 3 important pieces, they're not getting out of that playing series.
Yeah, Vince, they shot 36% from 3 tonight, but yet again, they held another team under 100 points.
Yeah, defensively, they get it done. They're so athletic. There's switchable positions up and down the line. But I agree with you, Candace. Shooting, maybe another point guard to facilitate, to get those guys, because, I don't want Paolo always being my facilitator with his ability to score. But at the same time, if he's going to be a facilitator, I want to put him in the mid-post and sometimes in isolation or at the free throw line and let him work there and make plays. But you have to have a guy to kind of get these guys the ball because you need scoring, which opens up the three-point shot as well.
But overalls, I like the way this team is going. Get it, overalls.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Shout out to Jamal Mosley.
I saw you farming for that joke. That was nice. 60 points combined for Wagner and Banchero.
Overall.
Will Candace handle these jokes well for much longer? Will she, for the second week in a row, punch Shaquille O'Neal? There's only one way to find out.
It's over, y'all.
Coming up next.
The show is overall.